Let me turn off our Wraith music. What's going on, guys? It is Sunday. It is ToyHammer time. Sounds a little
Let's
goofy, but I like it
go.
anyway. So, oh, I have the wrong thing. Let me swing it over. There we go. Now Mike's moved into the right position. So I am not solo tonight. I have a guest, as everybody knows, a great friend to the show, Michael Farley. And with Mike on the show, that means he's got some stuff to go over because he was at some tournaments last week, which we'll go over on the show. Yeah, so how have you been this week, Mike?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Quiet week on my end here. So, calming down. A little calm before the storm.
Yeah, I had a pretty crazy week with work. I got a big project that I've been working on the last 2 months done. So that was awesome. And then starting tomorrow, I'm actually going to be at a work conference for the next 3 days. And then the 26th on Thursday is going to be the big Space Marine 2 release. So that's going to be awesome. So I'm going to take off that day. And yeah, I'm going to stream that day. We'll go into a little bit more of that stuff. But I am glad that you had a good week. And I also know that you had a good tournament last week as well. So we're going to go over that.
It went better than average.
Yep. And then in the background, you guys might see on the left-hand side, I have my cosplay interceptor helm, which came in. So I have that. I have to finish the video for the cosplay. And
Your whole setup there really puts mine to shame.
this is
My closet door.
this is the Grey Knight interceptor. This is the Nemesis Force Blade. So this is crazy. This is gonna be what I'm gonna. I don't know if I can bring this to Comic-Con, but I'm gonna see if I can. So, but this is this. So yeah, so we got a couple of things, and then I unboxed it and I tried to put it on, and I got probably about 75% of the way through putting it on, and I could not get the power pack on. I could not get the helm on. I couldn't lock the arms in. So
Well,
I need some help.
did you order the servitor that's supposed to come with it?
Exactly. Thought my wife was going to be the servitor, but she wants no part of it. No part. So I'm gonna have to find somebody to help me out, but that shouldn't be a problem. So but yeah, so let's look really quickly in the chat. Plus, we're gonna do something different tonight. I'm actually going to use we're gonna have some polls going up, so I'll have some polls up there. But really quickly, we're gonna see who is in the chat right now. So we got Mr. Spark, one of our moderators, so thank you, Spark. We got Smoke in the chat. He is here as well. And we got Cyber. Very cool. So, yeah, so we're going to talk some JOYTOY stuff. We're going to go over some Warhammer, all the fun Warhammer stuff that we're going to go through this week. And then we're going to get to the tournament stuff from Mike's perspective. And then we're going to see his ranking because he is a highly touted Grey Knights player in the North American ranks. So that should be fun. But I'm going to switch over and we're going to start talking about some of the JOYTOY news for the week. And the first thing to talk about is something that we talked about the last time you were on the show, Mr. Farley, which is where the hell was the Red Imperial Knight? We heard about it in March and then we heard nothing. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere this week, JOYTOY dropped the Imperial Knight House Raven Knight Errant. I made a short about it. It was fun.
Big month for knights. Big month for knights.
Yeah, tell me about it, dude. We got the Codex. We got a new Knight which came out. We got the House Terra Knight, which is shipping right now as we speak to people. And what's interesting about this House Raven Knight, and I'll bring this in here in a second. Actually, I can't bring this in, but the price on this is a little bit cheaper. House Terra Knight was $6.99. This is $6.29. Again, this is from the official JOYTOY website. So this is a little bit cheaper than what the other one was. Plus, the other thing is this is going to be delivered by by December of this year. So we're not going to have to wait too long for this to come in. So as a Knight player, what do you think about this? This is the
the thermal cannon.
The thermal cannon. I said it like 50 times as I was making the short, dude. I was like, thermal cannon, thermal cannon. So it's the thermal cannon and it's the chain sword. So again, the House Terran one has the rapid fire auto cannon.
Knights had a big update this week too on the
table. Oh, did they?
Yeah. So they kind of got, I don't even want to say nerfed. They kind of got sideways. They got their toughness reduced, but then they got more wounds. Because the Chaos
Oh.
Knights got reworked with their codex coming out, and the Knight Codex is about to come out. So
Oh.
big shakeup in Knights.
So
Recently.
are they gonna have the Chaos Knights Codex and the normal Knights Codex? Is that how that works, or is it just
So the
all
Chaos
combined to
Knight,
one?
no, so they're two separate. Yeah, they are two separate books. Chaos Knight, the Chaos
Oh.
Knight Codex is out, I think, or about to be out, about to be legal. The
Okay.
Knight Codex has not come out, but is about to.
Ah, okay. So what is your we talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago. What is your like how does this look to you?
I mean, it looks exactly like the
Miniatures?
Questoris. Yeah, the miniatures do. I mean, I think I would be lucky if I could paint it that well, but no, it looks great. Especially with the thermal cannon. Like, whew, I
Yeah,
mean,
the thermal cannon looks really cool. I actually, so what I do with these, just so you guys know a little bit of the magic, when I create the shorts for these, I use a couple different AI generators, and then I have to put everything into CapCut, and I create the sound effects myself. Takes me like 6 hours to make these goddamn shorts. I'm trying to find a way to make it shorter, but it's a fun process. But for this particular night, a lot of the animations came off good as far as the prompt of what I was telling it and like
mhm.
showing it how to move and stuff like that. So that was a pretty good and pretty easy process.
I was
And
seeing a
again,
video of someone put the batteries into the head to make the night lights up. The
yes,
eyes light up.
correct. That is correct. The eyes light up. I guess I'm sure that the eyes light up here as well because we have the other one which is more of the night face. So it's gonna have the eyes on the House Terror Knight, the blue one. The
Yeah.
red eyes light up inside of that helm. So, but this looks cool. I'm not gonna ask you the question because I already know the answer. You're not gonna be getting this. I put up a poll really quickly, so we're gonna see what people are saying. Most people are saying it looks like no is the answer. I am gonna pick this up because I need one for when this was originally when they showed the House Terror Knight and the Raven House Knight or House Raven. I originally wanted the red one because it looks like it would go with my Blood Angels. Then doing a little bit of background, House Raven works extensively with the Mechanicum.
Hmm.
So I'm like, all right, so I got to pick up some more Mechanicum figures. Anyway, yeah, I'm very interested in picking this up. I'll have my two House Terror Knights, one that's going to get turned into Canis Rex, and then one for whatever. I'm going to have one just blue House Terror Knight, and then I'll pick up this one too. So yeah, so I'm gonna pick up this. Comes with the driver, who's got an awesome half of his head mullet there.
I think it's a lady.
That's yeah. That no, actually, it's maybe it is. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe you're right. Did you watch, by the way?
I did, yeah.
Did you? Okay, cool. I know they came out with episode 2. I haven't watched that yet. Have you?
No, I just
Okay,
saw
cool.
that first one.
Yeah, I gotta put up my short where I kind of like mush the episode into like a 5 minute
Hmm.
thing and then put it up. I'll probably put it up this week because they came out with episode 2 and then I'll do episode 2. But this looks cool. Yeah, again, price tag is a bit steep, 629.10. A little bit expensive, I know, but yeah. So let's see. Let's look at chat really quick. Bro, why are these always so late? What's up, Will? Thank you for dropping in, man. No knights here. A dial with Angron and the lion will take up enough. Yeah, a lot of people are. I feel like that's kind of the prevailing notion here for these. We got hit with a lot of. Well, this is the third big price item. We got Angron, who I think was like close to $400. We got one of the knights for 700, and then we got this knight for $629. So a lot of high priced items for this year. So again, I am definitely going to be picking this up. This looks very cool. Again, it's the same model as the House Terror Knight, which we've seen. Just a couple of different colors. The house symbols are different. We get more Mechanicum symbols, I believe, on it. The head is different. And then the figure that it comes with is different. So it's not, if you're getting the House Terror Knight, there's not that big of a difference. Oh, and what is this called again? I keep forgetting it.
Thermal cannon.
The thermal cannon.
It's just a giant melta. It's just a giant melta.
That's what I call it. I was like, is that a multi-melta?
Yeah, it's literally just a giant melta gun.
Spark knows all about the multi-melta in Space Marine too.
Dude, they're so good. They're really good right now. So the big one he has in game, the way meltas work is when you get within half range of whatever their range is, it has a flat. Normally it's D6 damage, but when you get into inside half range, you get to add a flat bonus. So like handheld meltas are melta 2, but they're normally like 18-inch range. So if you're within 9 inches, you do D6 plus 2 damage. That big one that he has is melta 6. So if you're and it's 24-inch range. So if you're within 12 and it goes through, it's D6 plus 6 damage.
Wow, that's crazy.
So this one is like made to kill knights up close and personal.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. So what about the rapid fire cannon?
The little stubber, that's for the little guys that are going to be pecking at his toes.
Oh, I get it.
That's to shoot the mobs of guys while the big melta gun literally melts open tanks.
So Will asked in the chat, do you think we will get actual Titans? I would love to see it, but it would probably be as big as me.
I was going to say, so you'd be able to get into it at that point.
It would literally be my cosplay outfit. So I would be a Titan. So I would like to see that, but I don't think. Actually, I think my wife would definitely divorce me if I got one of those. There's actually there's something called divorce class transformers. There's like different class of them, and divorce class is like as big as a person, and it's literally because you're gonna get divorced if you buy them. So yeah, so this looks cool though. I am definitely gonna be putting in my order to LT Cave. I'll probably do it probably next week. But yeah, I'm gonna pick up one of these. So all right, so the other thing that came out, I gotta make this short. I'm making the animations for it right now. We got Relic Secundus Armour with the bolt rifle, chainsword, and bolt pistol. So this one is from the Space Marine 2 game. It looks amazing. I mean, the paint apps, all of the Space Marine 2 figures look amazing. And it looks also like this one is like is taking the hits from the special edition that came out for Titus and his boys. Like they had a special edition. I think I told you about this, where they have like blood on the weapons.
Yeah.
Some of the weapons are supposed to be a bit larger. So again, I'll pick this up. One thing
seems tiny.
Yeah. His where is so he has again, I think that the chain swords are just too small.
Yeah,
I know
it looks really small.
Yeah, if you look like here, like this is supposed to be much bigger, I feel like. This is supposed to be a much bigger. The weapons, the rifles look good.
Yeah.
The paint apps look good on them. The figure looks really good. But again, the chain sword is the thing I always go back to. And I feel like there's even blood on this one. I feel like they redid the model on this. Excuse me. Correct me if I'm wrong in chat, guys, if they redid the model. I thought that they redid the model. So but yeah, I'll be picking this up. I'm only gonna buy one of this. I bought 2 of the Vitrix guards with Calgar when he came out. But he looks interesting. I'll pick him up. The one thing to note about this is apparently there is a rumor, and we will see if this is 100% sure, but this is going to be the last figure in the Space Marine 2 line. So they're going to not do this anymore, and they're going to jump over to, looks like secret level is the rumor for what it's going to be. So we'll see. We will see. So I think they should be another 25 to 30% bigger. Hopefully you're not talking about the knights. But one of the things that I will say about this is these are the larger scale figures compared to what we have right now. These are a little bit bigger than even the newer models and bucks that we've had with these figures. So what do you think, Mike?
It looks sweet. I can't wait till you get the if they're doing the secret level models, you're gonna get the Psyker in a box for sure. That's definitely gonna be an accessory, which will be super cool.
How did that guy survive that drop? Remember when they dropped down? They dropped straight down.
I mean, I'm sure they caught him, you know, or we can just wave our hands and be like, magic.
It's Space Marine magic. But this
Yeah.
looks, again, the paint apps look really good on this. All of the Space Marine 2 figures look great. Again, I don't expect any loss in quality for when we go to the secret level figures. And I think it's been confirmed that we're definitely going to get all 4 of the Space Marines, so Titus and stuff like that in that episode. So we're definitely going to be getting those. So we'll see. They should have done all the classes of Space Marine 2, but no, they want to stop. Yeah, I mean, I play a Bulwark all the time in Space Marine 2, so I would have loved to see that. But to be honest with you, like, I don't really care too much about these. Like, my main thing and my main concern is the Horus Heresy figures and the standard Warhammer 40k figures. This is kind of like an extra little thing because the scale is so off. I'm really into more of the standard figures. So this looks cool. I'll pick up one of these, and the short for this one will be out this week. Again, this is what I'm really interested in. The Warhammer 40k figures, right? So as long as my guys can fit in these Predator ball tanks or Predator tanks, then I'm good to go. And I ordered 2 of these, so we'll be getting these in. What is this coming out in November? So we'll go November, and then December I'm going to get the Knight. Oh, this is going to be a fun Christmas. So but we got a lot of stuff going on from that perspective. So let's look at the classes. They need to all the Space Marine 2 classes. Yeah, we want the legions. I'm actually surprised they didn't come out with the Space Marine 2 Thousand Suns for them, because it's a different color than what we got with the other with the other Thousand Suns in the Horus Heresy line, because the Horus Heresy looks like Christmas ornaments because they're like super
they're that red and white.
Yeah, they're like cherry red. I actually opened up 2 of them the other day with Magnus on Saturday, and I was very surprised. The figures look great. There's like a gold like mixture of paint, like shiny gold in the red, so it like really gives off a really nice look to it. So it's pretty cool. But and then one other thing quickly to mention is last week on Sunday, the JOYTOY website went down, the official site, because they were doing some price changes because of the official tariffs that went into effect. So I didn't really notice any changes as far as the prices, but you guys in chat can let me know. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the official Warhammer official JOYTOY site. This is the merch hammer. So this is offered by officially Games Workshop. So this is the official their merch site. And what's interesting is they have started, I think a year ago, they started putting up all of the Horus Heresy figures, and now we have the Space Marine 2 figures, and they're starting to do some of the Warhammer 40k stuff. So for instance, the Knight Terran they put up on here, we get the Knight from Raven House, we get the Predator tank, and they also got some new shirts up here too. So nothing for Grey Knights, already chucked. So nothing cool for Grey Knights. I have to make that shit myself. So yeah, pretty cool. And plus their shirts are pretty expensive. I mean, have you ever ordered a shirt from here?
No, I've picked up t-shirts and stuff from there's a official Warhammer store I picked up a t-shirt from once, and then I picked up some from like local game stores and stuff like that, or like
okay.
You know, like anime stores in the mall will have them.
Yeah, I feel like again, these are I have ordered a couple t-shirts directly from them, but these are a bit pricey, especially because you have to pay for the shipping. So shipping to me, and I'm right across the pond.
Plus, why would I do that when you've got such cool shirts?
That's right. You're getting your shirts. I sent 2 shirts to Mike, and I sent a hat to Mike. So Mike is going to have his hat, as well as we'll just quick. Let me jump over to the other camera really quick. So I found a store by me that is an official Warhammer store. I wanted to go to the official Warhammer store it's about 37 miles from me, but I picked up 2 of the Armageddon Crusade. You got one coming too, Mike. So that should be there tomorrow. But what's cool about this place, this is called Toy Wiz, It's in Nanuet, New York, and they're an official distributor of Warhammer, so they cannot scalp the prices. So this I got for $51.99. If I had ordered it off of Amazon, because they have like some of the scalpers there, this would have cost me about 68 bucks. If I bought it off of eBay, it would have cost me about 100. So, or 68 to 100 is the price. But I did want to get the special edition of this, but it's like $298. I don't mind spending the money, but that is a bit of outside of like a special cover. Is there anything else that's like with the special edition of this, do you think, Mike?
No, and to be honest, it's not even like used for like tournaments or anything like that. It's literally just narrative. And so it's not even like something that like every player needs to have even.
I get it. That makes sense. So I picked these up. I actually live streamed for the first time, which was quite awkward going to the store. So that was fun. And then while I was there, I was like, you know what, I got to pick up something else. So I picked up the Imperial Agents Codex because of the tie to the Grey Knights, right?
Yeah.
They had a lot of miniatures there. So it's a nice store. I was gonna buy something else. I was gonna buy a miniature, but I'm like, man, the shit's just literally gonna sit in the box. I am not gonna paint it. So I'm like, ooh, should I buy some Grey Knights I already have? Like the Strike Squad. Then I looked at the price, it was like $150, $200. I was like, yeah.
And just wait, because the Grandmaster Dread Knight Spur is about to come out. So
that's what I'm gonna wait for.
I'm not getting any more models till that comes out. I'm waiting.
Exactly. So, and then the other thing too I picked up was the latest issue of
White Dwarf.
White Dwarf. I made a quick short about the cover. I used to have a subscription for the last 2 years to this, but I stopped. Actually, what's funny is I stopped with this issue, and this issue has Grey Knight stuff in it. There's a whole section on Grey Knights. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna cherry pick these issues for stuff that I know that has like a cool Warhammer 40K, because I hate getting like issues with like the Sigmar covers, and like there's like just a ton of Sigmar stuff in there. I'm like, oh my god,
yeah,
like there's not much to go over. But we're gonna do these live. Again, when Mike gets the Crusade Armageddon and he goes over it,
I'm gonna play through some of the scenarios too.
Okay, cool.
And
perfect.
I have watched a couple. I've already watched a couple like updated lore videos, so I already have a little bit of spoilers on what the Grey Knights do in that book.
Oh,
and
that's
it's
awesome.
pretty cool.
That's awesome. So I want to. So me and you, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a separate live stream outside of this, where me and you are going to go and we're going to talk about this after you played a couple of the scenarios, so you can give a little more background to it, and so it's a little bit more in depth than some of the reviews that you've seen, where they just kind of go through the lore.
Not to give any spoilers, but I'm going to be playing against a buddy of mine, and he has Angron. And that's
all he does.
Oh yes, oh yeah. So I have a buddy that plays. He's one of the best World Eaters players in the country. He will be bringing Angron. He's got the whole line. He's got the demons. He's got bloodletters. He's got, you know, the berserkers and all the juggernauts and all the goods, Corrin stuff.
Wow.
So we'll definitely play through it. I'm very excited.
Dude, you got to get pictures.
Yeah, I will. 100%.
You definitely got to get pictures. So, but moving back over, so that's what happened this week. I found in a good store where I'm gonna again, Toy Wiz. I'll be ordering my Grey Knights Codex for them. I'm also gonna try to order the special edition from them. I contacted the official Warhammer store to see if I could order from them. The guy was really nice, Rick, I think his name was. He actually had a English accent, so when I called the store, I thought I was calling a store in England. I was like,
calling Nottingham.
is this in is this in America? He's like, oh yes. So a cool dude, Rick. I would have to order it and be there to pick it up, or go there and physically order it, something like that. So, but anyway, I'm gonna try to get the special edition of the Grey Knights Codex. Are you gonna try to get it too? Or are you just gonna get
No, I'm pretty good friends with at least the Warhammer guy at my local store. So I'll be able to put in a like direct order with him, hopefully.
Okay, cool, perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get it from the Warhammer store by me, and then yeah, so that should be pretty cool. So yeah, so a couple of other quick things we'll go through really quick before we jump over to you is the Cool Toys Club store. Again, they've got all the pre-purchases. Are they doing a rerun on the Intercessors? Wow. I mean the Raven Guard. Okay, maybe they are. Because I know that these were sold out for a while, so maybe they're doing a rerun. Let me know in chat if you guys have heard about this, because it's just popping up on the site for Cool Toys Club as a new arrival. So one thing that they have, which I did do this past week, and this is the pre-purchase I put in. I think Will, you have this already, right? Um, the I put in an order for Cool Toys Club. This is the one I would be getting from Loy at Cool Toys Club. I put the order in this week. It was $350. It's a little bit bigger than the Primarchs. And it's on, I think this is on a this has got to be on a Primarch buck, maybe a Dorn. The feet look like Dorn, looks like armor of Dorn, maybe mishmash out to be the Emperor. But I ordered this, and this is about 2 months lead time till it comes up, till it comes to me. So I should get this sometime, I believe, in September. So I ordered my Emperor. Do they have a? They don't have an Emperor model for the miniatures, right?
Oh well, he's on the Golden Throne. He's in the Corpse Throne. He's a
Horus,
corpse.
Horus Heresy, they don't have one, right?
No, I don't think so. I'm not that into Horus Heresy, but I don't think you can actually field the Emperor.
Interesting. Okay. So one quick question from Will. Wraith, serious question. With the new scale and attachments, do you think that this will be the last change JT makes? I hope so, Will, because when I originally got into this line, I had the one of the things that drew me was because it was a true 1/4 scale, right? It was a true smaller scale than the 1/18th figures, or maybe this is 1/18th, but it was a smaller scale. So I love the tinier intercessor figures that we got, and then all of a sudden it's just scale creep upon scale creep upon scale creep. I would hope so. um I would hope that they stop with the scale creep. I would like them to see them go back to the smaller scale. I was a little bit surprised that with the Predator tank, they are re-releasing the intercessors, and to my knowledge, they're not going to be the original V2. I think these are called V3, but the Blood Angel intercessors, they're re-releasing them as a V3 model, but they're not going to be bigger. So they're going to be they're not going to be the taller model, so they're going to be shorter, I would assume, to make sure they fit into that tank, the Predator for the Blood Angels. So I hope we get a scale creep back the other way, but I don't know. I would hope that this is the last time, because they're really starting to upset some of their fans with the constant scale creep of what we're having. And then you know about scale creep, right,
Yeah, I was
Mike?
gonna say you're speaking my
Right,
language.
Maris
Yeah,
Marines.
yeah, yeah.
Especially the Grey Knights. Like my entire 6,000 point army of Grey Knights is short little stubby guys
Yeah,
compared
no,
to
I
the
mean
models that are out now.
my whole army as well.
Exactly. So hopefully that answers in a roundabout way. I would hope that we stop with this shit. I hope that we stop with the scale creep and we just stick to something, and we allow the collectors to know how big our shelves are supposed to be. Because I don't it's not it's starting to become really super annoying to me. I want the smaller figures. That's what I want here. So and then what's up, T3? What's going on, dude? Knowing toy lines, there'll probably be another scale and articulation tweak in a few years and such. Yeah, I hope so. I hope not. I posted a photo in the Discord showing the BL term scale versus the AL term. Do I look stupid? Dude, I know. I showed on I did a review, Mike, of I think it was like 22 Joy Toy figures of all Blood Angels, okay, a couple months ago. And then I showed the V1 Terminator Blood Angels compared to like the V2 Terminators, or I think it's V2 or V3. And it's just like they're so short and stubby. Like it's like Primaris compared to like the original soldiers. So, but anyway, so I put my order in. I'll be getting this in a couple of months, so that is pretty cool. I think I saw that you have excuse me, one of these, and I think that did you say they made it on the McFarlane buck? These look like Dorn's legs. So I just did a review on him, and this looks like Dorn's legs. This is, I don't think this is yours. I think this is somebody else's. But so anyway, so I put that order in, and then we're gonna jump over really quickly to WOG Toys because they got 2 new items to order. I am gonna order this one. This is I guess they put this in just a little while ago. So
What
this
is it?
looks like, yeah, it looks like it's a contain. So you can put like, because we got a lot of
Oh,
extra heads.
it's a weapons rack. I
Correct.
see.
Correct. So it's all kitted out here. You can put all your weapons in here. I have a huge diorama display when I
I
do
thought it was
my.
a walkie-talkie with it,
I,
and it
I
wouldn't
know.
have anything on it.
When I saw this picture, I was like, "Is this something
Is it like a
from
box or
Doctor Who?"
something? Or yeah.
I'm like, "What is this?" But yeah, after it's only $11, so I'm gonna order. I'll probably order 2 of these to put in my diorama display for the reviews. I can stick weapons and shit and everything like that. I think this will look pretty cool. So I am going to pick up 2 of these. And then they came out with some more Dark Angel heads. Whoever's that Cool Toys Club doing this for you guys, or WOG Toys, is clearly a Black Templars fan and a Dark Angels fan, because that is the majority of the shit that we are getting. I am fine with that because we got a lot of Blood Angel stuff, but can we get some Grey Knight stuff? Because we need helms. We need helms, okay? We need power helms. We need interceptor. We need strike team helms. We need falchions. We need shields to make paladin terminators. There's just a whole bunch of stuff we need for the Grey Knight. So hopefully you get this out of your system and we get some Grey Knights customization stuff soon. So, and then again,
those shield paladins only exist in Chaos Gate and in
I
the
know
figures. I think just Chaos Gate.
Paladin Dragor has a shield, so there's gotta be
that is true.
Some buddies running around with a shield, because he did not get a special shield from the Mechanicum. Maybe, but I would assume that there's some more of them. Actually I put a picture in Discord. I want a Book who's on there. I want to get a custom made shield from Chaos Gate Demon Hunter. So I have a picture of the Paladin from that game with one of the big shields. So I want that. And then jumping over to LT Cave, just like Cool Toys Club, we are an affiliate. So again, I'm going to be ordering. I ordered a bunch of stuff from Cool Toys. I try to split it 50-50, and then I'm going to order the Knight and some other stuff from LT Cave. Again, if you guys want to support the channel, the affiliate links are in the description. And then while I remember this, if you guys like this content, like and subscribe. This is the only time I remember when I'm talking about this stuff. I always forget to press the button. So there we go. And then the other cool thing that is going on this week is we get Space Marine 2 Siege mode on Thursday the 26th. So I am going to be taking off from work that day, and I'll be playing Siege. Hopefully you guys will be on with me playing it as well. I want to eventually get the mod working where we can have 12 people, even from PlayStation and Xbox, jumped on with the missions and stuff, and we'll be able to do this. So do you have Space Marine 2?
No, I don't.
You need to get Space Marine 2, Mike.
Yes, yeah. It's on my... those AAA games are just so expensive these days.
I know, dude. There's so much stuff. And we got more stuff coming out. I actually am interested in that. The makers of Rogue Trader have that Inquisition game coming out. I think it's...
I played a bunch of Rogue Trader. Played a bunch of Rogue Trader.
Yeah, dude. I'm actually doing a playthrough of the new mission on Battle Sector on, I think it's Thursday nights, and I think we're on the 4th mission. I'm playing the sisters versus the orcs. So that's a lot of fun, that game. If you play the scenario, those are really fun. So, and then after I'm done with that, I'm gonna do a playthrough of my favorite Warhammer game. So we're gonna do Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, and yeah, and I got a couple surprises for that. Plus we got a couple surprises for the stream on Thursday. So all right, so jumping over to 40K or Horus Heresy news. What was there? Was there anything you said before? There was a night change this week, right?
Yeah, so the Knight Codex came out, or the Chaos Knight Codex came out, and the big change in that was across the board, every knight lost a point of toughness and gained between 2 and 6 wounds.
Oh, wow.
So the little knights, the armigers, used to be toughness 10. Now they're toughness 9, but instead of 12 wounds, they went up to 14 wounds.
Wow.
Big knights used to be toughness 12. Now they're toughness 11. But they went from 22 wounds to I think to 26. And the toughness change is a big deal. For instance, Melta guns that like Sisters of Battle carry or your regular Space Marine have are strength 9. So them, the little knights being toughness 10 going to toughness 9 now means that Melta guns that just any schmuck has goes from wounding them on 5s to wounding them on 4s.
Oh, wow.
Which is a really big change. It also, like, for instance, the big knight change going from 11 to 12 means that Grey Knights on foot with just their swords wound big knights on 5s instead of just 6s.
Oh, wow.
Which is huge.
I was going to say that's a huge thing.
But they gained 4 wounds for it. So you have to do more damage to them. So it's not necessarily a direct nerf. However, because of that, all of the knights, at least the big knights, went down in points, like way down in points.
Wow. So
then to match, so that change happened in the Chaos Knight Codex. So then to match that change, they did a quick update for just Imperial Knights that changed all of their data sheets to match the Chaos Knight data sheets.
Oh, wow. Wow. So that's a huge change, dude.
Yes, it's a massive change, actually.
Wow. And that really quickly, I want to highlight the by Scarecrows of the Night question. If the sisters were to become followers of Sanguinius, the Blood Angels, after learning about his history, what name would you give them? Obviously, this is a softball, Sisters of Blood, but we've also got Sisters of the Angels in there. What do you think, Mike?
So sisters that have been adopted by or indoctrinated into the Blood
followers.
Angels.
Yeah, they became followers of Sanguinius.
I mean, you do the Sanguine Sisters.
Oh, that's true. There you go. Sanguine Sisters also pretty cool. I think I think we got a couple, or Martyred Angel. That's right. Sisters of Sanguinius. Yes. So original. Oh, Daughters of Sanguinius. Actually, Daughters of Sanguinius would be pretty cool too. I think that would be a nice one too. Yeah. So we got more information. Are you impressed with the Saturine Dreadnoughts, by the way?
They're big. They're chunky. I was looking at the captain, the Saturnine captain. I don't know how he swings his hammer with his giant shoulder pads and then connected with the iron halo above it. Like, how do you move?
Yeah, shoot. Where is he? Is he in here?
And then obviously Space Wolves, the Space Wolf Codex is about to come out.
Yep.
In a few weeks.
Yep, that's going to be coming out. Do you think so? I haven't again this edition of when they come out with the Grey Knights, the upgrades to the baby carrier. I haven't actually bought anything or been a fan of 40K when new Grey Knight models have come out. And I would expect that the Space Wolf stuff is going to go really quickly on the first day, and a couple months later down the line, we'll be able to get it if you want it pretty easily, right? That's what I would assume.
Well, I know that it's coming. I think I've already seen boxes of it. So I know that there's a lot of hype for it. I have a couple teammates that are big. One's a Space Wolf main, and that's all he plays.
Oh, wow.
So he is very, very excited. And they're going to be good. They're going to be really strong. I mean, Space Marines are always strong, and giving Space Marine players the options to play Space Marines is always good for them.
Yeah, that's crazy. The models look amazing too with the new Space Wolf models that we went over a couple, I guess a month or two ago, 2 months ago, I guess, when they announced them. So this looks cool. Yeah. Was there any other news outside of the Space Wolf? I know that listening to Valrak, I think that they're saying that sometime in August, it looks like, is when we're gonna get the Codex for the Grey Knights. It looks like the the Black Templars are gonna be released the same day.
Oh, at the same time.
Yep, it's
Interesting.
gonna be a dual release of the Grey Knights and the Black Templars codexes.
Which is funny because they released the Black Templars like codex cover already recently.
Yes, they did.
But they haven't shown anything for us.
No, they haven't. That's why I'm hoping that it's really kick-ass art.
The Black Templars is kind of bad, I think.
It is. I made a short about it.
Bad.
People were like commenting. They're like, "This is really cool," but the art on the cover looks really bad. I'm like, "Yeah, I know." You got the guy with the bowl haircut.
Weird, the bowl haircut on the side, but then also the dude that's like up swinging his like tiara helmet thing looks funny.
I had to do like 5 different animations, and I had to keep changing the prompt to get it to give me something good because it just kept giving me goofy shit the whole time. So I finally got something good. If you watch in the beginning of that animation when it first shows, I have to cut it at the because normally animations run 5 or 11 seconds. I have to cut at the 2-second mark because the animation just goes absolutely nuts. So I got 2 seconds of good animation and then another 5 seconds. So yeah, so one other quick note, if you guys are interested, this is my link tree. I have actually some Warhammer 40K music that I own. I have 5 different songs up. One actually Scarecrows of the Night. If you're interested, I have I made a Sisters of Battle song and a video. If you check out my YouTube, it's called Faith of Flame. So, and then I have some other songs. They're on Spotify, they're on YouTube Music, they're on Apple Music, they're wherever you can purchase music or listen to music. All you gotta do is search WraithMace, and then you're gonna find the songs there. So, and again, I also got some Shopify stuff. We actually have a contest that's going on right. Well, it's gonna start July 1st. It's going to be if you want an invite to our Discord, subscribe here, subscribe on Instagram, and then message me on Instagram, and I'll give you the Discord invite. And the contest is we have different chats in our Discord, and in the chat for collections, JOYTOY collections, I have a contest starting July 1st to July 31st, and you're going to take pictures of your entire chapter or faction that you have that you like in JOYTOY, and then post that picture. And at the end of the 31st, I will judge and make a decision on who wins. And I'll send you out one of the WraithMace hats because I'm trying to pawn on merch to you guys. And then I'm also going to give you something that you'll appreciate. I'm going to give you a $50 Amazon gift card so that you can go buy a JOYTOY figure, or if you want to buy a codex or something like that, it is your choice. So again, we're going to start the contest July 1st. It's going to be in the collections section of the Discord. Extra points I will give people if you take pictures outside, because that'll be pretty cool. So again, that's going to be going on as well. So yeah, so let's get over to your stuff as I bring it up. I'm going to switch over to let you talk as I bring up your pictures. So why don't you explain to the folks what was your tournament last week while I grab the pictures?
Yeah, so last week I went to a GT, which is a grand tournament. So it's basically in terms of size. There's the 1-day 3-game tournament. Then there's GTs, which are the 2-day 5 to 6 game tournaments. And then there's like the big super majors, like I went to Dallas for, which are 3 days and 8 games. So this was a GT, so it was 5 games. It was 3 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. A lot of fun. It's hosted by a guy named Lewis, who does a lot of local tournaments, and he also does Crucible, which is a really massive super major here in Florida, which usually has like golden tickets to Worlds and stuff as well. So always really good events. And had 3 different members from Art of War, which is the professional tabletop professional Warhammer players
Mm-hmm.
there, and was actually eventually won by one of them playing the brand new Thousand Suns, which were
Oh
finally
wow.
they were legal. So yeah, so the new Knight changes that had come out were not legal yet, so this was still old Knight rules. But the Thousand Suns Codex was out and legal, so this was
Oh
the
cool.
first run with them, and they won.
Oh wow.
They are very good. Holy crap, they are really good.
Really?
Yes, they do so much damage. Just point and click your
Are
day.
they glass cannons essentially?
Yeah, I'd say they're not super tanky, but they got the
Movement,
psychic
right?
phase back, so I'm very jealous.
Oh
They
wow.
get to roll 2 dice to see if they cast spells again, and I'm super jealous of it.
Oh wow. So
Uh,
wow. So this is the tournament picture from the grand what was it again? The what is it called?
the Grand Tournament GT,
Grand
yeah.
Tournament GT.
Yeah.
So this is your I'm guessing this is the first matchup that you had?
This is game 1. Yeah, this game 1 is always random. Just the only people I can't play are my teammates. So there were about 4 or 5 of my teammates, so we were all guaranteed to not play each other round 1. But after that, it's all bets are off.
Oh.
So I got paired into Necrons.
Okay.
Um,
I see on the bottom here you have your lucky Emperor's Children.
Always, it carts around. It usually dies like first or second too. But no, I do have my lucky Emperor's Children, Black Templar, Razorback down there. I'm running, to be fair, my exact identical list.
Yep.
I'm probably going to be running my 5 Dread Knights 4 transport list until the Codex comes out. Or until I want a break from it. Because
Okay.
one, I've just got a lot of reps with it at this point, so I know what it does.
Sure.
And I think it's really good. It's really fun. So I got paired into Necrons. I've actually played this player before. He's from a team here in Florida. And I've played him before. We played at a game when I was playing Knights into his Necrons before I went to a team tournament for practice.
Okay.
And we had a really tight game there. And this is actually a really tough matchup because, as you can see, I don't know why I keep getting paired into the weird Titanic things. Like from Dallas, I showed you I had that weird scorpion thing in Dallas I fought, and then my tournament 2 weeks ago, the team tournament I went to, I fought the giant Taunar battle suit thing with all the cannons, and now this one, that is a Necron Tesseract. Vault.
Wow. So
If
I go to the next picture, is there another picture of this?
Yes, it lives for actually the whole game. I never killed it. No, I think I did kill it eventually. But
wow.
Yeah, so it is.
And there's a dude in there too.
Yeah, so right, the Necrons, their whole thing is right. They killed or destroyed their gods, the Catan gods.
They were the universe before ours, right? That's essentially.
So basically, right, there were the old ones or whatever that enslaved them.
Yes.
Because they were super like decrepit before they turned into robots. Yep. They turned to the Catan and were like, "Hey, help us kill our gods that aren't like helping us." They said, "Okay, we can do that. We have a way to make you immortal." And so they're like, "Cool, we like that." And they went into the biotransferent furnaces and literally had their souls taken from them and eaten by the Catan. Wow. They then killed the old ones. The old ones at this point were also spawning the orcs and the elves to try and fight them. So that's why the orcs and the elves are there. Okay. They obviously all failed because the old ones were killed. But then the Necrons were like, well, we have no souls. And they turned around. But we have all this power now, all this cool technology. And they turned around and they shattered and killed the Catan gods. And they enslaved them. So that dude that's in there is a shard of the Catan.
Oh shit! Really? I didn't know that.
That is a shard of their god that they killed and enslaved in the middle of that.
Holy crap! So is that thing powerful in the tabletop game?
Yes, that. Oh god, I'm gonna look it up now.
How many points is that?
That's what I was about to look up. This is a Tesseract Vault.
Wow, the thing looks insane.
It is massive. And
I've seen it
so
before.
so you've probably seen also they have two giant things. It's a monolith, which is a giant pyramid,
Yes,
and
I've
then
seen
this
that.
is the Tesseract Vault, which is like that but open with it like sitting in the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
This is
Okay.
bigger than the monolith because it's like open. It's much wider.
Wow.
It
How
is 425 points.
wow. How so comparison, how much is a Dread Knight?
210.
Wow, okay, so double the points. Pretty much.
Yes.
Wow. What is
Um
in 40K, what is the most expensive unit, period? Do you know?
so you can field a Warhound Titan legally,
Yep.
and I think it is 1,100 points.
Have you played against anybody who's played that?
I not in a actual competitive tournament. I
Wow.
played in like a narrative thing at like a store, almost like a D&D campaign, and the game master ran a event. He had a Reaver Titan, which is like literally this big, and he ran like a special scenario for me and my Grey Knights, and I fought and didn't even fight the Reaver Titan. It was more like I had to do objectives while it shot me.
Wow.
So this was actually a really bad, tough, no, not bad, but tough matchup for me. The Tesseract Vault is toughness 13, so it is very hard to kill. Like I said,
Wow.
Grey Knights really struggle punching up into anything above toughness 12 or toughness 10. He also had the Silent King, which is that really big model that's down in the bottom right corner there.
Okay.
The Silent King is the Caldor Drago of the
Oh.
Necrons. He is the highest leading ruler of the Necrons in current 40K.
Oh,
Is
wow.
the Silent King. And then he has a Doomsday Arc, which is that weird little hover tank thing that's like kind of tucked up right behind the Tesseract Vault.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, it almost looks like it's its tail. Yeah, in that
Yeah, I
picture.
see it. I see it.
Yeah, that's a separate tank that is also very nasty.
Yep.
But honestly, big thing about this game was I managed to jam up all three of his big scary things into that quarter of the table
Oh,
for
wow.
3 turns and fight over that one objective in that corner, while I was able to then sit on the center objective and the far objective, and I was able to basically have one big fight that I was slowly losing with all of my Dread Knights and his big guys in that one quarter of the table. And because of he has 3 big things, all of his trash units, all of his scoring pieces are very small and very fragile. So I can then send my little Grey Knight interceptor units or strike squads or purifiers and teleport them in to kill his little strategic units and just have my big guys just really like slowly hold the line and then die.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Because all of those 3 things there shoot incredibly hard.
I was gonna say
they are very swingy though as well. They are like the tank he has, the Doomsday Arc, the little tail there, and the Tesseract Vault are literally like casino cannons.
Wow.
I say that because the Doomsday Arc, the tank, is D6 number of shots. So sometimes he just rolls a 1 and you get 1 shot. Sometimes he rolls a 6 and you get 6 shots and you just kill whatever he shot at.
Oh my god.
Same thing with this big thing, the Tesseract Vault. It is really bad in melee. So 1, I know that I can touch it in melee and it's not going to be able to go anywhere or do anything.
Sure.
And then 2, it is also super swingy with its guns. And so there was like a turn where he swung really badly, and he also forgot that I had a unit of Inceptors sitting ready to attack his home objective, and so he forgot to shoot at them, and he didn't kill what he needed to kill, and so I was able to have a really big turn. Also, this was specifically a mission called Scorched Earth, where you're able to do actions on objectives and burn them, and you remove them from the battlefield.
Oh.
If you do it too early, you kind of screw yourself because you can't score points on them because they're gone. But you score extra points for each objective that you burned. So I basically was able to hold objectives, wait, and then slowly started to burn them. And then I was going second. And so going second means that if I start burning an objective, he has no way to stop me on the very, very last turn of the game. So I was able to burn his home objective without any counterplay.
Wow,
And
the one that's in the bottom right?
No, top right, behind that Tesseract Vault.
Oh, I see. Okay, wow. Shit.
Yeah, I literally had his squad. You can actually see them up on the top left objective. There's a squad of Inceptors kind of strung out. They were inside a Razorback that's sitting on behind that wall.
Oh, I see it.
And they basically sat. It went up there, sat, and then he didn't interact with that objective at all. And then eventually they got out of it and sprinted at his home objective.
Wow. So we got a question for you in the chat. So from T3, how many revive protocols did you get hit with having to deal with? So how many?
So he has a lot of big units. So like the big things that I didn't kill got to do all their reanimation protocols. The big thing that I was able to avoid is I was able to kill. He did have another Catan shard that basically his little gods. Some of them are named. So he had the Deceiver, and I was able to shoot it down with a bunch of the secret to killing them, because they're really annoying. They half all damage. Their toughness like 11, and then they have a 5-up feel no pain. So, and a 4-up invuln. So you have to get through toughness 11, a 4-up invuln. Then once you've gotten through that, they half the damage. And then after they've half the damage, if they on a 5-up, they ignore all damage. So the trick to killing them is, instead of shooting them with really big like las cannon, one shot, like here's a single shot las cannon. Because if it goes, I want to have to wound with it. Then he has to pass a 4-up invuln, which is 50-50. Then if it goes through, it's D6 plus 1 damage, but he halves the damage and then has a feel no pain against it. So the secret to killing Catan shards is shooting it with 1,000,000 1 damage shots.
Oh, wow.
Because it doesn't have an armor save. It only has a 4-up invuln.
Sure.
So if you shoot it with no armor penetration or armor penetration 6, it's just a 50-50 chance on whether or not it ignores it. So I got I had 2 purifier squads basically teleport around it, throw a grenade into it, and then just shoot 1,000,000 bolter shots at it. And it died. And that surprised him. He was like, I didn't expect that. I was like, but I know how to kill these things. So that's what I did. That helped a lot. Then,
so you knew the strategy already, how to deal with this.
Yes, at least specifically with that unit. Everything else, right? You have to kill Necrons outright, because as soon as you don't kill them, they start to reanimate.
Oh god, yeah, I felt that pain in Battle Sector.
The big one in this one is the Silent King, their leader. He has 2 like obelisks that are a part of his, like, separate models that are a part of his model though. And if they are alive, they have big like single shot 6 damage lasers. But they're each like 6 wounds, and so I was able to kill them and then do enough damage to the Silent King in shooting that when he was reanimating himself and not bringing his they're called Menhirs, not bringing his obelisks back.
Wow. So how did you do overall? Well, I'm guessing you won this fight because you said
this was a very tight game. This was a very, very, very tight game. But because I was going second, and specifically on Scorched Earth, we even talked about at the end of the game, he realized that he needed to have basically over a 20-point lead on me going into turn 5, because if he didn't, I was going to be able, or he needed to table me. And if one of those 2 things didn't happen, I was going to be able to score so many points on turn 4 and turn 5 that I was going to catch up. And so he had a decent lead on me turn like 2 and 3, but then it slowed. Like turn 3, I slowly chipped away at it. Turn 4, I like overtook it, and then turn 5, I slammed it into the win. So this wasn't like a crazy overall win, but this was it was a 96-77 win.
Oh, that was really close.
Yeah.
Now
he was also playing Hypercrypt Necrons, and that is a teleporting Necron detachment. So we were both playing. I can pick up 3 units. He can pick up 3 units at the end of each player's turn. Yes. So the big thing is I was holding his guys, his big guys, there, and all my little guys were able to run and kill everything else.
That's hysterical. Is this a fun match to watch? Or
it's hard to say that these are fun games to like spectator sport on because they take a while and it's a lot of dice rolling.
Sure.
But there definitely is like if you kind of understand what's going on and you walk up at the end and you can see the score, you can understand that like, oh, this is down to the wire and stuff like that. And to be honest, any game you walk up and you just watch them roll the shooting for like the Tesseract Bolt is fun.
That's hysterical. All right, so you won this game.
I did.
Cool. So 1-0 at this point. So let's move on. I shared this before. This is your next game. So what are we seeing here?
Knights. Before the change, I ended up fighting Knights twice this weekend. My overall record this weekend, I went 3-1-1. So I had 3 wins, 1 tie, 1 loss. My tie and my loss were into Knights.
Oh, wow.
Knights are a tough matchup. They're a really tough matchup right now.
After the change, are they going to be easier for you?
Slightly, but there also will be more of them.
Wow.
Because their points went down. So they got all those changes, but then their points went down, especially on their big Knights. So like Canis Rex went down in points. So
how much in points did he go down though?
So he used to be like 425. I think he's now 385.
Wow, okay, that's a lot.
So like all of the big Knights went down like between 10 and like 80 points.
Wow.
So it'll be easier for me to technically kill a big Knight, but there will be more of them now.
Wow, okay.
The little Knights didn't go down in points because they're already very, very cost effective for what they do and what they are.
I get it. So, all right. So you went 1-1. Is this the one that you lost?
This was a tie. This was the tie. And it should not, I should have lost this game. I want to say that. So one of the big changes 2 tournaments ago, about a month ago now, is they released the new mission cards. We were in Pariah Nexus. We are no longer in Pariah Nexus. We are now in just the 2025 mission cards.
Sure.
And so one of the changes is they got rid of secret missions and they added in these new things called challenger cards. And so I think it's turn 2 going forward or turn 3 going forward. If at the start of the round, if you are losing by 6 or more, you get to draw a challenger card. And it's not 2 decks per person. It's 1 set deck for both people. So if I'm losing one round, I get to draw from the challenger deck. And if you're losing the next round, you get to draw from the challenger deck. But there's no instances of us drawing the same cards like there are for secondary cards. Those are separate.
I got it. So was that a good change moving from Pariah Nexus to this?
So they made a lot of changes to the overall like secondary missions that I think made them better.
Sure.
They made a change to one of the primary missions that made it horrible. But I was able to take advantage of it, and I'll talk about that in my 5th game. It was my final game.
Okay.
We played on the new changed primary mission. But secret missions and the challenger cards were a big change because secret missions were like something you could take at the end of the game if you were losing, and if you did it, you would score a big boost in points. But they were almost never taken, and then almost even less pulled off. I think when they did a poll of it, I think it was like 1% of players pulled off challenger cards or something like that. Oh
wow!
Like or the secret mission cards. So it was very like not super a part of the game. Sometimes it came up, but not very often. The challenger cards came up, and I think a lot of tournament players don't like them. Basically what they are now is, because now they happen every round you're losing, I think 2 onwards. So they happen more often, whereas the secret missions was like a single thing that you chose if you were losing turn 3 or 4 onwards. What the challenger cards give you now is they either give you a stratagem that you can use for free or a additional mission that you can do to score points.
Okay.
And sometimes the stratagems are really powerful, but the thing that makes them kind of broken is that the points you can score are really, really easy. And
Oh, really?
it literally tied me the game, end of the game here. But going,
wow.
I went second again. I think I only went first once this weekend, which was actually that was very lucky because all of the games I wanted to go second in, I went second in, and the one game I wanted to go first in, I went first.
Wow.
So that was very lucky. That's
generally
just,
the Grey Knights want to go second, right?
yes, correct.
I get it.
So that is literally just dice rolls and me actually rolling badly because the person that rolls low goes second. So that's actually me rolling bad and my opponent rolling better than me.
Keep rolling bad.
The one time, yeah, normally. So this one I went second. He kind of played. He hadn't played into Grey Knights as much, so he played a lot more conservatively, which actually worked in my favor. Because if he actually realized that I had struggled to kill him, he could have blitzed me a lot harder.
Yeah, and just overwhelmed you,
really
right?
slam dunked it, which has happened to me in other Knights games that I think I've talked about before. Is they just kind of blitz me with their Knights, and I just kind of and lose. So he played a little bit more conservatively, which helped me as well. But this also was just an uphill battle. I didn't kill what I needed to kill early, and it kind of started to snowball. Luckily, I was able to kind of trade with him a little bit. And then literally what it came down to, if I pull up the thing, is what it came down to is turn 5, my turn 5, bottom of turn 5, going second. So I get to score at the bottom. It was purge. The mission was purge the foe. So it's you get 4 points at the start of your turn for holding one objective marker. Doesn't matter where it is. You score another 4 points for holding more objective markers than your opponent. Then you score 4 points for killing any unit. And then you score another 4 points if you kill more than your opponent in the round. So there's a possible that if you hold one and hold more and kill one and kill more, you can score 16 points.
Wow.
So it literally came down to my turn 5. I have it up here. I was able to hold one and hold more. I was able to kill one and kill more. So I scored 16 points on primary. I then drew 2 secondary cards. One of my secondary cards was I had to do an action in his deployment zone for 4 points. And he has no way to interact with me because that's literally me putting a unit into his deployment zone and just saying they're doing an action. And then there is he's right. The game just ends and they've completed it and it scores. So I score another 4 points for that. My other secondary card was no prisoners, which is you score 2 points for killing one unit. You score 3 points or 4 points, whatever, for killing 2, and then you score 5 points for killing 3 or more. So I killed literally one unit of his that scored me kill 1 and kill more because he didn't kill anything in his turn.
Oh, wow.
It also
did he know that?
Yeah, well, yes, he did. Because he did know, but that's the thing is by the time turn 5 had happened, we were down to so few units that what he had left alive, what I had left alive, couldn't interact with each other at all.
Because at this point, if you got your kill, you could just run away at that point.
Well, if I get my kill, the game has ended because there's no turns after that.
I get your second. That's right. You're right. That makes sense.
So I got I actually scored 4 on this. So I killed 2 things. So I got killed 1 and kill more. Killed 2 things, so I scored 4 points on no prisoners. So now I've scored 16 points on primary. I've scored 8 points for secondary. And we scored it up at that point, and I had lost by 3 points. And I went, damn, the score was 74-71. And then I remembered, because I was losing by such a big margin, that I had drawn a challenger card. And I looked at my challenger card, and my challenger card said, you score 3 points if you've killed 1 enemy unit. And so I was like, oh, I did that. Scored 3 points and
challenger card
and tied the game. I should like that. So that is the thing, is like it is very gamey. It's very luck of the draw. Like I was losing the game and I was rewarded for losing, and because of that, the game tied. So like if I was on the other end of that, I would have been a little salty because like there's literally nothing you as the
it's a
opponent can
comeback
do.
mechanic, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna give you an instance here. I used to be a big time Street Fighter tournament player, especially Street Fighter 4. And in Street Fighter 4, as you're kicking the shit out of your opponent, they're getting a secondary super meter, right? Because
Yeah.
they're kicking,
Yes.
they're
Yes.
taking
Exactly.
damage.
Exactly.
And then they have access to this. And some of the characters have like insane abilities, like to the fact that you throw out something full screen and the guy activates it and you're gonna take like 50% damage.
And so it does kind of almost reward or incentivize losing just slightly, just a little bit.
Sure.
It's hard. It'd be hard to kind of control it because you need to be losing by enough to get it, and also enough to come back. But it's still, and
But
also some of the abilities. Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's kind of like I said with that Street Fighter analogy. It's gonna be there because you're gonna. One of you guys is gonna take the damage, right? So I just, from my perspective, from a competitive player, I don't like those type of comeback mechanics in the game to make the game interesting for the developers, right? Because they want something for the
They
lesser.
took away the secret missions because no one was using them. They want people to interact with this new element of the game. So they added in challenger cards. And then it was just crazy that because I hadn't really played with them that much. I was like, we'll see how much they come up. And then it came up in such a big way. Literally game 2.
I get it. So this one you tied with
by the skin of my teeth
because of the challenger card.
Yeah.
And so what are we looking at this this
so
sun
planet I get paired into Ultramarines.
Oh yeah, the Smurfs up in the
yeah,
right
corner. The blueberries you see. I've played this is a newer player in the area, but I've actually played him before at another RTT.
Post nerf, right?
Yes. So they are now playing with the same amount of command points as the rest of us mortals.
Do you see did he play a different setup than he would have normally played before the nerf?
So he didn't have he did have so he actually ran pretty much like double his list was called 2 of everything because he had 2 ballistic dreadnoughts, 2 hammer strike gunships, 2 vindicator tanks, 2 intercessor squads, and then he still had all the good stuff though. He still had Guilliman, he still had Calgar, he still had a company heroes to attach Calgar to, and he still had the combi lieutenant that is able to sit next to Guilliman and make them both lone operatives.
Oh. Okay.
So it was very much not honestly, he got more stuff because they got the points nerf. They got point reductions. So Calgar actually ended up going down slightly in points because he got the command point nerf.
Correct. I remember that. I think you told me that he lost.
So they actually gained
less points.
Yeah, so he gained slightly, like 1 more unit with all of the points he lost.
Okay.
This was an interesting one because this was the primary mission on this is called, or the twist or whatever, is called Hidden Supplies. So there's it spawns an extra objective marker in No Man's Land. So that's why there are 4 in the middle now.
Oh, okay.
Which is actually really good for Grey Knights and specifically the Warp-Bane detachment. Because the Warp-Bane detachment says, at the start of any phase, if you hold 2 or more of the objective markers in No Man's Land. It's not more, it's not half or more. It's just 2 or more. So I can hold 2 of those objective marker, 2 of the 4 objective markers in No Man's Land, and it is always hallowed ground. So almost this whole game, basically 3/4 of the board, I'm just full rerolls in the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, big moment in this one is I was able to basically hold the this was last game of the day. I always get tired and I take one picture of my 3rd game of the day. I was able to basically hold the middle objective, the top middle objective there, and basically I was able to hold the top 2 objectives.
I was gonna say,
and
yeah, it
keep
looks
them in
like
no
it.
man's, keep them in hallowed ground,
Mhm.
and then force him to fight over the bottom two.
Yep.
Um,
Let me ask you a question about the terrain.
yeah.
So we see where the markers are
Mhm.
at the top section, right? We have 2 there.
Yeah.
So now if you look at where your units are situated, right,
Mhm.
directly behind that other terrain,
Yeah.
is it easier for you to get to those markers because there's nothing, does he have to go around that essentially is what I'm asking?
So the way I am, if you're looking at the terrain, they're actually
Yep.
so they're two separate terrain features, right? There's two
Correct.
different squares. So
Yep.
they are, because they're not connected, and you can actually, there's like a hole in between them. They are still touching enough that, because I'm not touching it and I'm behind it, if there are two people behind, right, on the other side of it, neither of us can see each other,
Oh, okay.
right? So if this terrain piece is like this and this is like this, and I'm standing on this side and you're standing on this side, and neither of us are touching the terrain, neither of us can see each other. So like
Oh,
if he's
okay.
standing in that little open hole there in the middle, he still can't, neither of us can see each other. But we
I
can
get
move,
it.
but my vehicles can move in and out of that hole between that. Same goes for him, right? You can see it on the reverse side for his
Sure.
tanks are
Yep.
positioned to go through that little hole there.
Yep.
Um, however, the middle segments are a one big piece and then one little small piece. They're still two separate pieces, but because of the way the terrain is situated, in order for us to see in and out of it, I can touch it from the back, but yes, he would have to go either around, or if infantry can go through walls. So to get to the
Oh,
middle
okay.
ones, it's easier to touch them, obviously going at them from the back.
Sure. Okay, okay. That's kind of what my question is
It
because
also
then
means that like those two very middle objectives, you can
yep.
hold and not touch the terrain pieces, right? You can actually see his scouts there are holding that middle terrain piece without touching the terrain at all.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
So neither of us could see through it,
I
basically.
got it.
As soon as he starts getting into that terrain, I can start drawing line of sight to him.
Oh.
Right? So
So
so basically the easiest way is, right, if you see his scouts touching the objective in the middle there, and there's the actual wall of the terrain. Yeah, perfect. There's the wall of the terrain there. If he were to put even half of a scout base onto the actual template of the terrain there, I can now start drawing lines of true line of sight because there's no wall there. There's no actual physical wall there. If he touches the template, I can draw from the yellow open ground to his model. But because he's not touching the template, I cannot see through the template either.
oh, I got it. I got it. So yeah, okay.
But
Okay.
the walls there do actually matter once you start touching the templates.
Then they come into effect
Yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
So now this game you won, right?
I did.
Okay.
So I'd played him before. So I got a little bit used to. He's gotten a lot better. And he's starting to calculate the game a lot more. So the games are getting closer, which is making
Sure.
me nervous. And it basically came down to the two of us. His tanks are very short range and also very casino cannon-y. They are
Sure.
also D6 number of shots. So sometimes he
Oh.
rolls a 1, sometimes he rolls a 6. And so I'm able to, because I'm able to teleport and he has to call doctrines or just walk there.
Sure.
I'm able to pick really weird angles to shoot things and force him to kind of overexpose and stuff like that, not shoot at what he wants. And then I'm able to
Force it to play on your ground.
yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Okay. So you
And then because of all my transports, he has a really hard time engaging into me because I can basically
Mm,
push transports out and touch the objectives, and then he has to send, because he doesn't actually still have that much, he has to send like Calgar and his company heroes out to kill transports, pop the transports, and then all my guys can get out and wail into them. Which is
I
what
got it.
ended up happening is Calgar and the company heroes pushed out into the middle, and I ended up having to teleport a bunch of Dread Knights around them, and the Purifiers got out of their transports. I shot them with a bunch of Dread Knights, and then the Purifiers charged in to finish off the job.
Oh, wow.
But it was a big mosh pit in the middle there with Calgar and Purifiers, really.
Let me ask you a quick question. When you're playing with transports, let's say you're in a transport when your turn starts,
Hmm.
and then you deploy the unit out of the transport,
Yeah.
you shoot, can you
Hmm.
then get back into the transport?
Haha. Okay. So no. Yes and no. Normal answer is no. You're not allowed to disembark or re-embark in the same phase that you have done that. So now the caveat on that is in the same phase. So a trick that I like to do is specifically with interceptors. Their data sheet ability is after they've shot, you can choose to make a move of up to 6 inches with them. A normal move of up to 6 inches with them. But it happens in the shooting phase. So something, and then the disembark or re-embarkation rules say that if you finish a normal move with it and you finish within 3 inches of the transport, the whole unit finishes within 3
Sure.
inches of the transport, you can re-embark. So something that
Uh,
I will do with inceptors is, um, because the other transport rule is you can, if the transport doesn't move and you get out, you can move normally, shoot and charge. And the transport can also move and shoot and charge, but that's if it
um,
doesn't move first.
okay.
If you're in the transport and it moves, you can still get out. You can still shoot, but you cannot charge.
I get it.
Same thing with the vehicle. So
Okay.
something I will like to do is actually something I do that I can my heretical Emperor's Children Razorback down at the very bottom
Yeah.
has
The,
inceptors in it. And something I will do, and I actually did it in this game to kill his scouts. The Razorback, the Inceptors will get out, and the Inceptors move 12, and you have a 3-inch bubble of basically movement of disembark range. So with a 12-inch move and 3 inches of disembark, you basically are moving 15 inches out of the transport. So
wow.
my Inceptors will get out of the transport within 3 and then move 12 inches. So they've
Oh,
now
wow.
moved 15 inches at those scouts. Then the transport moves 12 inches. So then it moves after they have already done all that. So they can all act normally, and the transport can now act normally. The transport then will get into that little piece of terrain so it can see in and out of it. Then my guys, who are now sitting basically in the middle there, I will shoot the scouts with my Razorback or whatever I need to shoot with my Razorback. My Razorback has a rule that says I get I can pick something that it shot, and then whatever disembarked out of the Razorback gets full rerolls to wound in shooting against it.
Wow.
So my Inceptors will get out, move 15 inches. It will then move 12. It will shoot something with a Stormbolter, shoot a big thing with its las cannon, and then the thing that I shot with my Stormbolter, I will say, I want that for my reroll wounds roll, the fire support roll. My
Oh.
Inceptors then, with Hallowed Ground from Warpbane, have full rerolls to hit into the scouts, and now full rerolls to wound into the scouts. So I just have
Wow.
now dumped 5 times 4 is 20 Stormbolter shots at 4 full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound. Then
Wow.
in the shooting phase, they get to make a normal move, and because it's not the same phase that they got out of the transport, they
Sure,
can
they
get
can
back
back
into
in.
it.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I was playing Battle Sector and I disembarked my sisters out of a shot and then I couldn't get back in and I was like, "Oh shit." So, that's interesting.
Yeah,
So this one
it's a very Eldar move. Like that's a very classic, like Fire and Fade is a very classic like Eldar Tau move. So that is something I will do a lot. Is I will literally that I will put my Razorback in that little piece of terrain, and then my Inceptors just jump in and out of it shooting, and then eventually when I need them to, they just can jump out and charge like right. They have a 15-inch threat range out of the
wow,
transport, which is massive, plus a charge. So use right an average charge is like 5. Right, you're trying to make, you don't want something over like 5-6 inches, right? So
sure.
you're moving 15 inches, charging like another like 6 or 7 on an average roll, so you're moving like 21 inches.
Wow. Wow,
uh,
interesting. So now
so
this one
yeah,
you won, right?
I did. This was a good game. It was 80-64.
Okay, cool. So it wasn't a wipeout. And then what are we looking at here?
So end of day 1, I am now 2 wins and 1 tie, which means
This is
I am
nice.
technically undefeated.
Oh,
Which
okay.
which means that I get paired. There are since it was a grand tournament, I think there were 42 players at this one.
Hmm.
So there were 5 3-0 players, and then me being the 1, 2-0 and 1 player, and then everyone else is either 2-1 or 1-2, and vice, so on.
I get it.
So it means I get paired into one of the remaining
Players, yeah.
undefeated players. I get paired into another knight player, someone who I have played a lot. I actually played him in one of my practice games before Dallas. It was my one loss at that RTT. This was my one loss at this grand tournament as well. And he even said to me, if we hadn't played that practice game before I went to Dallas, he wouldn't have known this matchup enough, and he would have played it poorly, and probably would have at least had played it poorly, and I would have had a better chance. And so that's like the flip side, is because he's played me enough, he knows how I play, he knows how Grey Knights play, and so he was able to screen very nicely, so I could only deep strike in front of him. He knew basically exactly when to press and where to press,
Okay.
and he knew exactly like the damage calculations on how many armigers kill a Dread Knight. So this went very poorly for me.
Let me ask you a question. Do you, because you're playing against people, sometimes that you played a lot of times, will you change your army list because of who you know who you're playing and you want to
So I
throw
mean,
them off?
at this point, right, you've submitted your list at least, so that there's no changing what I brought at this point. The only thing I could change is maybe how I play,
Sure.
right? Because not every game is the same, and I wouldn't say I play the same every time, but they definitely get used to like, oh, he probably is gonna go for a rapid ingress here, like he's probably like you kind of get that kind of sense of like when people will kind of make plays and stuff like that. And basically the big thing again on this one was the little knights are such high OC that they're able to out OC me pretty much all the time unless they're dead or battle shocked. So he can just put them on objectives and force me to either shoot the little knights, which aren't, they're kind of swingy on whether or not I kill them unless I'm in melee with them. And then I just really struggle to kill like the Lancer, which is way up at the top. I ended up pulling it super out of position, but by the time it was all the way up there and way out of position, and I had killed it, I was down to 1 Dread Knight by then.
Oh wow. So was this a wipeout?
He didn't table me but it finished. This was I think 88 to 50 loss for me.
Yeah.
Also the autocannons he was running more autocannon armigers than Melta armigers, and those are actually way more dangerous once you start stacking buffs into them. Because one of the big things that really struggle with them is they're only AP1 base. So if you have any kind of cover or like a 2-up save, I'm either saving on a 2-up or a 3-up.
Sure.
But what he's brought is, one, they have a stratagem that increases the AP of the guns on the little knights. And then his sister's tank that he's brought that's up there.
I was going to ask, is that who? Okay. So
he allied in sisters.
Sure.
They give him sticky objectives, which are really the sisters do. And then the tank lets him strip cover from the things that he shot with it. So he can make the autocannons into one target, AP2 ignore cover, which is the same profile as the psi cannons. They're also flat 3 damage, but the difference is they're strength 10.
Sure.
They're also 8 shots each. So 2 of these into a Dread Knight with the buff, the stratagem, and removing cover do so much damage to them.
Wow.
And then the big knights, like the Lancer in melee, I think killed 2 Dread Knights. And
wow.
That's usually the game. The Lancer in melee, it hits on 2s. It's flat damage 8. Always on my invuln, wounding on 2s. I think it's 6 attacks. So I have to. It's basically wounding on 2s with 6 attacks means you hit with everything. And he has knights. Imperial Knights get a single reroll every time they hit and every time they wound for every roll. Wow. So he hits on 2s with 6 attacks and a single reroll means he's going to convert all of his hits. He wounds on 2s because it's like strength like 18 or something on the big lance. Also with a single reroll, so he's pretty much going to wound with everything. It's flat damage 8. I'm only 13 wounds, which means I can only fail 1. So and it's a 4-up on all of them, and so it means I have to save 5 of 6 invuln saves every single time I fight, which almost never happens.
So this one you lost, right?
I did.
This was your one loss. You had one tie. So then moving into the next.
So now
one,
I'm 2-1-1 going into the final game.
Yep.
And you can even see just as that night game kind of progresses, like I slowly lose things, and all of his knights are still there. The night matchup is frustrating because it feels a very, very samey pretty much. They all kind of go the same.
So this one you won. What is it? I'm having a hard time identifying. Is this Alpha Legion? What is this?
Custodes. It is.
Why they're blue?
So he had kind of a blue like capes on them, but if you zoom in on them, they are still the gold armor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was running infantry only, so like no tanks. All those tanks are not our board. It was just bricks and bricks of custodian guard and a couple sisters.
Wow,
that is a very tough matchup for a lot of armies. It is actually a really good matchup for Grey Knights.
Oh wow.
They have to walk at you pretty much everywhere, or rapid ingress if they're like onto you to get closer to you out of deep strike, or just make a 9-inch charge. Specifically, though, in this detachment, which did come up in this game, you have a stratagem that makes charges either -1 to your opponent's charge, or if you're inside hallowed ground, -2. So it means that if he's trying to charge anything important, I can basically make his 9-inch charge an 11-inch charge. Which is almost like not gonna happen on math. And then the Dread Knight Psi cannons are really, really good. The profile is really good into custodians on foot.
Wow.
They're only T3 or T6, so I'm wounding them on 3s, and then everything is on their invuln, and all of their infantry is 3 wounds each. So every failed save is just a dead guy.
Interesting.
And he's just walking at me. And so basically this game, I will say he had never fought Grey Knights before, which makes me salivate whenever I hear my opponent, whenever I hear my opponent say that. And I tell my opponents that too, is like, after one game, you will already have your next game into me and into Grey Knights will already be better. Because as soon as you start to understand my tricks, you kind of start to understand the counterplay, which is one of the downsides of Grey Knights. After a few times, you kind of get them. And so I was able to.
Grey Knights are kind of gimmicky, or no?
Not gimmicky, but they definitely have a shtick, right? Right. Your opponent you're playing into Grey Knights. You always have to worry about screening your backfield. Right, it's kind of like it's kind of a chore, right? Sometimes you can just move your models forward, not ever worry about it. But into Grey Knights, you have to always think like, oh, is my opponent actually like trying to do a 4D chess move and teleport behind me, And so I got to make sure he can't do that.
Okay, I got it.
And so now specifically, this game literally came down to the mission, and I got to go first for the first time the whole weekend.
Oh, and this is the one you wanted to go first.
Yes. This mission is called Terraform, and it was changed from Pariah. In Pariah, you could do an action at the start of your turn to terraform an objective, and it completed at the end of your opponent's next turn. So if you were still alive at the end of your opponent's next turn, the objective marker was terraformed.
Oh, okay.
There was no way to unterraform it. So as soon as your opponent had done it, it was terraformed. The big thing is you scored... I think it was 4 points on primary for each objective marker you held.
Sure.
And then you scored an additional 2 per objective marker that was terraformed. It didn't matter if you held it or not. So if you completed your terraform and then died and your opponent held that point for the rest of the game, you still are going to score 2 points for having it terraformed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was in the old way. It was updated to now it completes automatically. I terraform the objective. It now, in the end of my turn,
Boom.
it doesn't complete. It completes. It is now terraformed.
Wow.
However,
Interesting.
my opponent now can also do an action on an objective marker that I have terraformed to unterraform it. It also now only scores 1 point per objective marker that terraformed. The difference is that actually makes it worse is that because it completes automatically, I can walk up with 1 unit and terraform the objective. And I have now claimed it and terraformed it. In order for you to take it away from me, you have to have a unit to kill me off of it, but you also need to have a unit to do the action to terraform it and unterraform it from me. So now you need 2 activations to do it.
Sure.
And then also specifically, you unterraforming it from me doesn't terraform it for you.
So you
it wipes it. So now you have to then re-terraform it. So you need a unit to kill me, a unit to unterraform it, a unit to terraform it yourself. So going first means you need, and specifically into Custodes, they're very elite. So they just do not have the action economy to be doing that at all. Wow. I got to go first. So I got to literally take all my guys out of the transports, park a transport on all 3 an empty transport, 85-point transport on all 3 objectives, terraform them all, automatically completes. It doesn't score me as many points, but now he has to come and kill my Razorback off of it or take me off of it and do the action to unterraform it.
Wow.
And he just simply does not have the units to do that.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I was able to bubble wrap basically everything so nicely that my Dreadknights were able to sit behind everything and just gun down lane with full rerolls the whole time. And as he wanted to charge out of Deep Strike into things, I'm able to do the stratagem that almost never comes up to make his charge harder. And basically you can see he had a big blob up there, up at the very top.
Sure.
He was like, I got to do something. He Deep Striked, like that whole blob of Custodes up there is probably like 800 points.
Wow. That's literally almost half the...
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
So it Deep Striked up there. And then I was like, okay, well now you need an 11-inch charge into what's on that point.
Sure.
And that's like almost like less than 10%.
Wow.
He failed them all. And then he just sat there. And so then I get to shift my wall because he can't go up back into Deep Strike anymore. He's just walking 6 inches at me. So I get to adjust my wall, run an empty transport as close as possible to him. So he has to go around it and just keep shooting at him.
Wow. So now this one, was a wipeout?
This one was pretty bad. It was 95-55.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
And yeah, so Custodes they live and die on their 4-up invuln, and especially in the big guns. And so he was slowly failing his saves, and I was just kind of whittling them down, and he never had the action economy to actually play the mission with me.
Sure. Wow. So now here's your rankings at the end of the tournament. So you went 4-1-1.
So this is my like international or national rankings.
Sure.
Yeah, I went 3-1-1. I finished 8th, 6th, 8th, one of those.
Wow.
I think finished 6th, I think.
And there's our boy Mike at 4 of 4 in...
Yeah, so they track your highest 4 scoring events.
Sure.
So you can play in as many events as you want, but then they take your highest score, 4 highest. So since this event, it's updated. I'm currently 15th in North America, 26th in the world.
That's crazy.
For Grey Knights.
That's awesome, dude. So now when's your next tournament?
So not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, I have another GT, another 2-day 5-game tournament here in Orlando. And then the following weekend, I will be going up with my team to a team super major up in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Playing, I think, 7 games. Yeah, playing 7 games of Warhammer. 2 games on Friday, 3 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. And it's a 5-man team event.
What's good is you're going to have your 2 shirts available.
Yeah, no, I'll have them ready for the GT too. I'm very excited.
Did you were you able to hand out any patches?
I handed out my last. I don't know how you picked like the literal perfect number, but between my couple tournaments that I've played and then Dallas and this GT, I had the exact number to give to every single opponent I played.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I sent you 5 more patches, so
Sweet.
you'll have
And
that.
that's perfect because that'll be my 5 opponents at the next GT.
Cool. Perfect. Very cool. And then what I'll do is obviously you know about the Purity Seal patch that I'm getting. I'm going to send you one for you to have.
Yeah.
So you'll have that one.
Sweet.
And then we'll
it'll
figure
go in
out...
my bag.
Yeah, so we'll have that. So it looks like you had a really good showing. Was it fun?
Yeah, no, they're always a blast, and I feel like I feel like I've had a lot of like learning and growth over the last couple months of like just the amount of intense like competitive games, the amount that I've been playing. So this felt like a tournament that I was kind of able to put that into practice, which was good.
Exactly. That's awesome, dude. Very cool. All right. So we talked a little bit about we're getting to so this upcoming weekend, this upcoming Saturday, I'm gonna guess, or sometime over the next well, the weekend coming up, you're gonna play some Armageddon.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I guess since I'm getting it this coming week, I'll probably start playing it either end of this week or probably into next week.
Okay, cool, perfect. And then either it won't, if it's not on this show, it'll be the following show. We'll do, because I want you to play Armageddon, and then we'll set up a separate, like, we'll figure out a day we can do a live stream together at night, and we'll
I could
just
do
talk
something during the
about...
week too.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what I'm saying. Look, we'll talk and we'll figure once you get some action in Armageddon,
Yeah.
and then what I'll do is I'll set up. I have a really nice book display stand where I can put the Armageddon book, and you won't see me. You'll hear me talking. You'll see your face, and then I'll turn the pages as we're going through the book, and you can explain to the viewers what we're seeing and stuff. Cool.
Sweet. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, it is almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I have a fraud conference tomorrow morning at 8 for the next 3 days. So I am going to go. We're going to call it there. But again, guys, if you like this content, I'm going to press the button because I remembered. Please like and subscribe. Mike, I appreciate you coming on the show. Again, we have some more stuff coming up soon with you. The other thing this week, let's see, we got Space Marine 2 on Thursday. Wednesday, we're going to do another unboxing. I think we're going to do... I have Sigmar figures from JOYTOY. So I'm going to open up those on Wednesday. Thursday will be Space Marine 2. And then we'll do Battle Sector Friday night. And then we'll do another unboxing on Saturday. So lots of fun stuff going on, dude. Anything else that you want to share before we close it up?
Nope, that's it. Wish me luck, guys.
Sweet. Well, wishing you luck. Mike, have a good one, guys. Again, if you guys like this content, like and subscribe. All right, guys, we're going to call it there. Have a good night. Have a good week. Later.